evening. Welcome to 5 Minutes Uncut. I'm Delvin Sadler.
And I'm the great knowledge base, DT.
Thank you for watching 5 Minutes Uncut. We want to thank the People Nation for tuning in every week to watch this show. What do you have to say to the People Nation knowledge base?
Big up the People Nation. People Nation, big up your damn self. You are the people that make sure that this show continues. Without you, there will not be any show.
Indeed. Clearly, our last video is clearly a success. And each and every week, we rely on you, the People Nation, to share the video. But we also want you to subscribe to YouTube.
Definitely, we need your subscription because we need you, the People Nation, to be our strength, our voice, the people that take it to the nation. Hence, People Nation.
Clearly, you are important to us and we need your continued support. So with that said, we're gonna review what we do on this show. We have 5 questions to which we will answer in 5 minutes each question. And our subject categories are politics, religion, sports, entertainment, and sex and relationship. With that said, we're now gonna get into today's show. And the first question that I have for you today, knowledge base, is this. Fake asses. A lot of women walking around with fake butts. So this is the new trend, women walking around with fake asses. Everybody wants to have round bumpers. That's round butts. Do you agree with this to be the new trend, that the ladies are going around with fake asses, buddy?
Yes, hell to the yeah. Everybody wants to see a nice ass, especially if you have those apple bottoms jeans on. Ooh, yeah. Sound like you just know that. Yes, but indeed, wouldn't you like to see those asses in those jeans?
They look beautiful.
Yes, but I'll answer your question. Yes, fake ass is a new trend. Last year, I believe, I went to what they call Dream Weekend. So for the people out there, I'm not gonna, yes, I'm plugging it. Dream Weekend is basically, I would call it an alcoholics vacation. So there are a lot of females there down in the grill, and I would say 89% of them, brush on the 90%, were carrying fake asses. Both people, ladies of the lighter and darker hue, and they have these things called a waist trainer. In some circles, people might say, well, you know, what's wrong with what you have? But the media and what guys out there want is to see this nice, firm, round, appetizing. I wouldn't say appetizing because I don't eat ass, put it that way, but it looks luscious.
Yeah, it looks
yes. It is a nice masterpiece.
Yeah.
So whoever they're going to, we need an ass specialist to come on the show now, because I have never made an ass, so I don't know. We need somebody. Is it an object that they put there, or is it something that they put under their skin?
Yeah, one of them is they get some women get implant into the ass and then into their buttocks, and then some have this thing that they just put it on like an underwear that contours, that shapes perfectly like a ass that they put their pants on underneath.
Okay, so I'll defer to you though, Delvin, because you seems to be an expert on this. So, is it the case that so have you ever gotten close to one of these things, like you unwrap the gift of a woman and you realize now that
hold on,
it's a fake ass?
Hold on.
Yes.
My wife don't wear fake butts.
I didn't ask you about your wife, sir. I did not ask you about your wife.
Alright. I've seen on the internet
Yes.
where people, right, put these things on, and the end result is a perfect shape. Some women like
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian,
Kim
right?
Kardashian.
Right,
Yes.
right, that lady.
Yes.
There was a big uproar on the internet the other day when she posted a few pictures with herself in a bikini, and clearly you can see her legs are very fine.
She has chicken leg and a big butt.
And a big butt is there, and the people were all in uproar about her fake bum.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like it, and they comment they're not a fan of her anymore because of this fake bum that she carries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's fake because I wasn't up close to examine it, and I don't. And she never actually came out to say it's fake either. But the real ones, you can tell. What's her name? Amber Rose and Black China.
China, yes.
You can see the real difference between those ones and what Kim was
And there was a
carrying.
young girl down in Jamaica. What's her name? She's on the Magnum Kings and Queens.
Oh yes. What's her name again?
Can't remember. Curvy Diva.
Curvy Diva. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Can't remember. Yannick or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
She's a real deal.
She's a real deal.
Yannick, I'm plugging you right now.
But even
I'm looking. I'm watching. Yannick, yes, I am watching.
But there's a big difference between the real ones and the fake ones. You can actually notice a big difference. You know, it's like they're trying to do the Barbie doll thing, but with a darker U-butt.
Oh no. Oh no.
It doesn't look too proper.
It doesn't
right?
look too proper.
But from afar it looks good. But sometimes when you get close up, you can tell that that one is not really real. But if you want a butt and you choose one of those ones, power to you. Everybody wants to look good and feel comfortable within themselves. So feel comfortable.
So people out there in the People Nation, give us your comments on fake asses or fake butt.
Yes.
Do you subscribe to them?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want them? Do you find them appealing?
It's eye appealing
regardless of what you want to say.
if it's real or non-real. I say be comfortable. On to the next question. The second question I have for you is this. And this is a fan that reached out to us and asked us to address this situation. And I'm going to let you know what it is, okay? We're going to talk about DUI. And that's the acronym for driving under the influence. It could be the influence of anything, but in this particular case, it's alcohol.
Oh yes.
And this is a lady, and she actually was charged with DUI on Mother's Day. And it's a serious situation, but she was charged with DUI on Mother's Day. And her driver's license were suspended, and she has a young child. Now handcuffed by the situation, she don't know what to do. What do you say to this mother who was charged with DUI, knowledge base?
Alright, I know this is a sensitive issue, but I'm going to speak to it directly. I myself participate in alcoholic beverage from time to time, as you can see on the show. I do not go beyond my limit.
Yes.
I don't overindulge. That's the word I wanted. With that said, if you're going to operate any form of mechanical vehicle, anything that moves, you should not have alcoholic beverage over the limit into your system. I can't remember the exact numbers, but for women, I think Mothers Against Drunk Drivers have come up with a statistic recently that says that the trend for women as it relates to DUI is increasing. I think from the current stat that they have, 1 in 6 drunk drivers are actually women. This situation is very dangerous because you can actually change lives for the worse when you operate a motor vehicle under the influence of any type of drugs. But the drug that is rampant in our society is alcohol. So in most cases, it's people that drink and drive that we come across. What I would say to this fan or this person from the People Nation, maybe you need to take a pause with respect to your drinking and use this particular incident, even though it has put you back, because I presume that you'd have to get to work, you'd have to pick your children up, you have to do a lot of things that you need your car and your license to do. And no, you can't do it. But as they say, if you do the crime, you shall do the time. And I say to you, ma'am, get yourself in order. Use this as just a speed bump and get yourself back together. But no way would I condone or agree with people operating a motor vehicle under the influence of drugs. Why? Because I'm basically telling you, if I agree with you, to kill me.
And you're a road user as well.
I am a road user, so I'm saying you should kill me. I don't want that. So I would implore you, use a Uber, use a cab, use a designated driver. If you're gonna have a party, you should check your patrons and ensure that they are not under the influence before they leave your residence. And just to add to that, if you, Delvin, were to have a party here and I overindulge
It's my
and
fault.
I leave here, it's not your fault. Like I can sue you as well as whoever I've injured on the road can sue you.
Right.
And your little pennies that you clutch to yourself there, because I know you like to clutch
It
your
will be
pennies.
taken away.
It will be taken away.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You know, the knowledge base, the consequences for being caught and convicted for DUI, driving under the influence, is you could get your license suspended for 6 months up to a year. And not only that, or 6 months in jail as well. And it's a serious crime.
It is a serious
Especially
crime.
if somebody dies as a result of an
You
accident.
can go to prison.
You can go to prison for it. And not only that, the government will mandate you to put a breathalyzer in your car, so that every time you start the car, you now blow into this breathalyzer before you continue. So for her to get back her license, it's not just a matter of going tomorrow and get a license.
and just let their kid blow into it.
No, you can't.
Really?
No, this thing is a high-tech thing, man. It's you, the
So
driver.
how would
Because somebody can borrow your car, so it has to be determined the difference between you and this. So your saliva sample now identify that it's you who is operating the vehicle. You can be a passenger in the seat, but as long as you're behind the wheel, you have to blow into that.
Yes, I'm saying that someone could sit in the seat and blow in the
No,
breathalyzer.
this breathalyzer is designed specifically for you alone.
So hold on a second. Once you have the
It's a
breathalyzer
car,
thing in your car,
It's
then
like a
you're
computer.
you're the only person that can use your car?
No, that's what I'm telling you. Somebody else can use it, but once you're behind the wheel,
Yes.
then you have to blow into it now, and it identify that you are the person beneath this.
So again, I'll ask you.
Yes.
If I get one installed in my car, the only way my car will move is unless I blow in it.
No, if you are identified as the person behind the wheel, then you have to blow into it.
Okay, so anybody else that blow in it, then it will move?
No, anybody else can move it without blowing into it. But you come in there, you put your whatever it is that you need to put in, and then you blow into the machine, and then you go.
Okay. Anyway,
That's how that works.
you still didn't sell me on it,
I went
but-
onto the computer and I researched and I looked into it. And that's what it says. You have to go in and know the machine will identify you as the occupant of that vehicle. If it's somebody else, they can drive the vehicle. But as long as...
But I recall a friend of mine, and this friend know who I'm talking about. His relative had that situation, and he used to get a kid to blow into it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Oh.
So maybe this was from the 80s. They have
The
become more
technology,
sophisticated.
more sophisticated.
Okay.
And this is government mandate by the insurance.
All right, so
For you to be insured.
polices and people from law enforcement
Yeah.
in the People Nation, let us know about this
But
brutalizer.
let me talk about this a little bit more further, because in regards to this lady now being handicapped, right, by the whole situation, it never had to be this way, because there's alternative means to which you already mentioned that you could have taken in order to not get yourself into this situation. Take a cab or Uber or transit, okay? And this is what do you call it? A tough lesson learned, because now your family is suffering as a result of it. And let me talk to you, the People Nation, for a second. You see what I mean? I don't consume alcohol. Maybe on a social level I do from time to time, but it must be within my home. If I go out with my friends, I'm the designated driver. I'm telling you that right now. I am because I know I'm not going to drink and drive. So curb your drinking habits when you go out, and if you know you're gonna indulge, get a designated driver or take transit, Uber, or taxi. That's just best
or
thing
just
to
don't
do.
bring your car and get pissy drunk. There's nothing wrong with getting pissy drunk, but don't bring your car.
Don't bring your car. I would agree to that. So curb your drinking. On to the next question. It's been 21 years since the death of the legendary Tupac Shakur. A biopic is now being released depicting the life and time of Tupac Shakur. How do you see Tupac Shakur as a visionary, a revolutionary, or a plain thug?
It's an interesting one, you know. Thug life. Let me give you a basic history. Where the hip hop game was concerned, I grew up the second half of my teen life, you know, from 14 onwards, in the great, or 15 onwards, into the great white north here, particularly Toronto. And we identified ourselves in the hip hop world here as being East Coast. So throughout high school, it's just pure East Coast. Biggie, EPND, Nas, them two brother name again. When?
Ron DMC?
No, sir, they're old school. Delvin, where you come from? Delvin like Delvin thing go all the way back to the 80s. Mobb Deep is who I wanted to remember. Mobb Deep. They run the hip hop game in the 90s going into the 2000s. Pac is an enigma. Pac grew up everywhere, right? I think he was born and raised on the East Coast, particularly in Baltimore, and then he moved out west.
Yeah.
But back to Pac now. I personally didn't dig Pac when I was in high school because of my surroundings. I knew of his music, but I didn't listen because of fear that, you know, you'll be labeled.
Yeah.
But after Pac died, you know, I realized that this guy was the best thing that hip hop and the world has ever produced. Tupac, guys want to be him and girls love him, right? The man was an actor, a poet, an artist, all around artist, a visionary, a man beyond his time. In fact, I think Tupac, and people, you can attack me if you want, I don't give a rat's ass. Tupac should have been the first black president in the United States. The man talked for the downtrodden. He talked a language that people in the inner city all over the United States felt and understand. He talked to his people, right? He talked to young people of all hues. He gave you it raw. Every type of struggle that you have, Tupac identify with it. Okay? Anything the man wanted to be, he could be it. Okay? Brenda's got a baby. Okay? She don't know what to do with the baby. She's 15, she's scared. Just throw it in the trash. Okay? But the cries keep calling her back. Pac, you were the man. And listen, why Tupac is so great? Listen to any one of Pac's songs today after 21 years and they're still relevant. Okay? Dear Mama, they're still relevant. So I'm gonna plug the biopic. Go and watch the biopic. It's coming out, I believe, June 16th of the year 2017. Go and watch Tupac's biopic. Tupac is a legend. Tupac was a pro-African. Tupac was a revolutionary. Yes, the negative side of Pac would beat you to your face physically. Pac would spit on you, literally, if he didn't like you. It was alleged that he boogered some girl, but that's a story for another day. That same girl, because that case kind of tarnished his image, but Tupac is the real deal, and Tupac is a revolutionary and a visionary. If you want to call him a thug life mean you aspire to be anything you want to do beside, in spite of what people think about how you talk, how you look, and how you address yourself. Thug life. I believe in that. What do you say?
I don't know about the thugging part of it, but I mean, if you look at the man himself, I mean, he had a foundation where most of the members in his family, they were from the Black Panther movement, eh?
Yes.
They were involved into that.
Yes.
So maybe this anger and aggression that came out from him is a constant hearing this and seeing it around him. It just comes out in the form of his music. But he's a great poet, I can tell you that. He has lots of poems, lots of songs. He was a great actor. I mean, if this man would have just toned down a little bit and
he doesn't need to tone down anything. Give it to them direct and raw, Pac. Be yourself. But continue.
I mean, like, some of the violent stuff that he sings about, you know what I mean?
But these are things that were going on around him.
That's what he was seeing.
Yes.
And the police and...
If the police beat on him, he needs to beat on the police. There was one incident, people, and I'm sorry, Tupac is important, so we have to give credence to this man. I think there was a movie set, Poetic Justice, and he refused to come out of his trailer because he had some leverage, because there was an LAPD officer on set. And the man said, no, they don't respect me, I don't respect them, I'm not coming out until this man leaves. And the police had to leave the set.
What about when he had the gun and the gun fell and it shot the little boy?
Which gun fell and shoot which
Yeah, he
boy?
shot, I mean, he
Where
dropped...
you get this information?
I read it online.
No, that's just bullshit. And Tupac has a right to carry any firearm because you have a Second Amendment right
Yeah,
to
that
carry
was
a
a firearm that he had, but I mean...
It shot someone. I never hear about that. Where you get that information?
I read it online, man.
Not everything online is correct.
No, it's not correct, eh?
Yeah, it's not correct.
Actually, I read it on Wikipedia.
Yeah, fuckery. Fuckery. Total fuckery.
But I respect the songs that he has written. He has great artistry in his song.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote some good songs about positivity of the darker you.
Not just the darker hue. Trust me, any human being, if you listen to Pac, that as Peter Tosh once says, there's a spiritual ingredients in his song that touch everybody.
But the gangster stuff that he wrote about?
Most of the gangster stuff was when he got shot. After he got shot, he just didn't
radical, man.
He just get after Tupac. He does it hard at all times. It doesn't matter.
That was too hard though.
And he had a Napoleon complex, because Tupac wasn't that tall. He's about my height. He was about 5'5" and very
fearless.
Thin. And fearless.
Yeah, maybe that's why he died, because...
No, it's not that that's why he died.
Too much thugging.
Too much thugging?
Yeah.
No, he died because the street, if you live in the streets will eat you up, You live the way you die.
You just see man and just start beating them up, so?
No, that same man took away a chain from a member of the Bloods a few days earlier, and Pac saw him, and Pac had to do some correction.
Call the police. Report
Which
it.
police? He policed the same situation. He policed it.
You know what? I'll give him credit for his poetry. It was great. I gave him credit for his song. But as far as to the thuggery, don't emulate that anyone, please.
Listen to me.
Leave
people.
it to law
Listen to
enforcement.
me, people. His definition of thug is totally different. They use color coding of words to mean things. Read between the line of what I'm saying here. Thug mean to take it to you directly and in your face. It doesn't mean I'm gonna rob you or rape you. That's a clip from Tupac.
Let love reigns. So, with that said, let's move to the next question. Okay, knowledge base. The next question that I have for you, I'm gonna just say a few things first. With heavy heart, I just want to say condolences to the people in England. Last night there was some violence that occurred that caused the death of some people. There was a terrorism act that took place and several people lost their lives and a lot are injured. How do we protect against these deliberate acts of violence, knowledge base?
You see, you have to put a little, and then let me also say condolences to anyone that lose their life.
Yeah.
Period. Full stop.
Yeah.
I do not support violence, senseless violence,
Yeah.
because I believe in self-defense.
Right.
So if someone is attacking you, you should
Defend yourself.
defend yourself. If that
Yeah.
person die in the advent of defending myself, then so be it. But if someone is gonna go out there and attack innocent people who are going about their daily lives, then we need to take a pause. And I'm not going to get into ideologies and who is wrong, who did this and who
Right.
did that. That is not why we're here. What we need to do is that people need to defend themselves. Okay? When you're in public places, you're at a soccer game, a football game, wherever you are, you need to check your surroundings and be ready. For example, I'm in this building here. I know where all 3 exits are in
Right.
this house immediately. I know if something kicks off where I could get an object to defend myself.
Right.
If there is a firearm and the person is close to you, do not run. Believe it or not, run to the person if you're in arm's length and try to get the weapon away from them. If you're far enough, duck, get behind some object. Lock yourself in a room. If you're in a building where a man has an AK going through the building, lock yourself in a room. If someone comes into a room with you in there and they have a weapon of mass destruction, a firearm, and there's like 14 of you in that room, grab everything you can in the room and throw it at that person. Yes, a few of you might get bullets, but trust me, if you're even throwing apples at him, he will take a pause, even if he has an AK. You want to take an apple straight in your face, 14 apples in your face at the same time? No. So what I'm saying is that people, you can't be cowered by these events. We have to fight fire with fire. If they fire at us, we need to defend ourselves. I'm not saying you should go out and hurt this person or hurt this person. The ideology, I'm not here to debate the ideology. I'm saying when the event happened, we need people to be aware of their surroundings and take evasive action to defend themselves and their fellow citizens. It's very difficult. Believe me, it's a new era that we're living in. I don't want to say it's going to be the norm, but every day you hear it left, right, and center. So what you need to do is to be self-aware and give yourself a little bit of confidence. Don't be too coward, okay? Even the nerdiest man, and I'm sorry to pick on nerds, put in a situation can get himself out of that situation, okay? So do not let these people put fear in your heart and terrorize you, because when they know it's gonna be a fight, they will then take pause, okay? They only attack dogs that are scared, okay? If they know that the dogs will bite back, they will take pause. How do you see it?
Okay, let me talk to the people nation. I mean, to you, the people nation, I'm saying to you, support your governments, support your representative, give them the powers and the tools necessary to protect you, the citizens of your country. Clearly, some people don't like our way of living and our way of life. Hence, you might have to give up some of your own privacy so that you can be protected. I'm not saying you should.
Nobody can protect you.
Us.
I know, let me let you finish, but I'll say something afterwards.
I'm just saying to you, the people, support your government. I mean, you might have to give up some of your privacy in order for you to be protected. Even if one life is saved, then it's worthwhile. That's my opinion. Another thing is that try to get to know your neighbors. Try to love your neighbors. Try to have community gather and take part in functions that taking place in your community so you can get to know who is who you're mingling with and so forth. If you're in a position where these people attack, try to get cover. So what I mean, and rely on the security forces to do what you pay them to do. This is a difficult situation to say how to protect yourself in this when bullets are being tossed at you. But do whatever it takes for you to survive. Please do whatever it takes for you to survive. I don't understand how people could get to this point of radicalism to say inflict this upon people. But for you, the people nation, show everyone love. So maybe, if you can change one of these persons' heart, then to me, that's a success. That's the way I'm looking at it, knowledge base. What do you have to say now?
Sorry to interrupt you earlier. What I'm saying is that I do not want the government to take away my privacy and change the way I live because of some person or persons out there who have some ideology that I'm not going to even give it airplay to then put fear into my heart and then change the way I live. But what I'm saying is that just the way out they are out to get us, and when I say us, I mean people that they whoever they are, because I'm not going to identify or try to get into why a person would do this, but I'm saying the person who does these type of things, what we need to do is be aware of our surroundings and be ready to fight. The police alone cannot solve this. You kind of went into it a bit, but yes, you should know your neighbor. Yes, you should know what is going on next door. Report things. But as it relates to every conversation I have on the phone, that Mr. Big Brother is listening to everything. Every tweet I make, Mr. Big Brother is on it. I'm not into that.
No, what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna let me finish. I do not support you taking away my rights for a small, because when you really look at the numbers, these people who are doing these heinous acts is a very small population.
But they can cause great damage now.
They can do great damage. But what I'm saying is that if we isolate these people and show them that since they want to die, we will ensure that you get there faster. That's what I'm saying. Okay?
Okay, knowledge base. Let me just take another minute on this, okay?
Yes.
What I'm trying to tell you is this. A lot of these people are simple person that you grew up with as friends and as neighbors and whatever, and something happened that these people now become radicalized. And most of the time, or some of the time, it's on the internet, and you know what I mean? They go on sites and visit sites and eventually get sucked in and drawn in.
I don't think so.
I mean, the government can actually.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. No site can pull in a person to then go out and then kill people. You within yourself have that in you to kill people already. And it just so happened that something that particular day, press your button to start doing it. No sight pull you in. Don't listen to the hype, okay? These people, and I didn't want to get into ideology. These individuals who are doing these things believe that whatever their cause is, they believe that another group has subjugated them, isolated them, put them down, do not see their way of life. They believe that they are degraded, and they believe that there is some life after doing such heinous act, that some reward I would use. And some of them are just plain people who hate, okay? And it comes in all forms. And every human being on earth have an evil side to them. Every single one. So I'm not saying it's them over there or us over here. Every single person have that ability. And we should have another topic on this, because I think it's going into
All right.
12 minutes uncut.
Okay, everybody, People Nation, love your neighbors, please, and show love. All right, on to the next question. One. All right, this is the last question I have for you, knowledge base.
Mm-hmm.
Gold diggers.
Gold.
All right, I'm going to tell you what gold digger is. All right, gold digger is primarily a woman that is interested in material benefit. A woman who cares about a man's bank account than she does about the man. Address gold diggers out there, please, knowledge base.
Before I get into the question, gold digger is not just for women, eh?
Yeah.
We have men who, they have a name for them, but
Gold
I think they're
digger
gold diggers too.
Yeah, they're gold
so I'm
diggers
not
too.
gonna go out there and say,
All right,
it's just
gold diggers then.
Gold diggers.
Yes.
Alright, what do I think about this gold digging situation? To be honest, the only gold diggers that I know are women, to be honest. But I know male gold diggers must exist.
Okay.
I personally have not seen them. From what I saw in my limited time on earth is women gold diggers. My experience with gold diggers is working at the ACC, that's the Air Canada Centre, where the basketball is played. I have seen tall gold diggers, short gold diggers, blonde gold diggers, you know. I've seen many fat ones, but to be honest, they're very attractive women, and they come there with their wares, you know, and they literally throw themselves at the players, okay? And sometimes they bring brata, as Alkaline will say. They're friends.
Yes.
Right? So let's address it from the other side first, no? For the gold diggers to exist, there has to be
A market.
a goal.
Yeah.
So you have people who want to attract these type of women that flaunt their wares.
Of course.
Right? So they wear diamond necklaces, bling out. When they're in the club, they're drinking SS Spade and all these things. I know of a man who wanted to get the attention of a woman one time and use a pile of money, God rest his soul, to hit her in the head. Literally. So if you're gonna do that to a female and she respond to it in a positive light, and then you are gonna call her a gold digger, you want a gold digger. So it is like a magnet type situation, you know. The gold idiots and the gold diggers, they form a unisex, they unite, right? So, but the gold diggers, to be honest, you know, you don't agree with this, because I think you and I talk about, some of them have a heart, you know, and I try to get to that heart, but I'm telling you, it's a very, very, very dark place. I must admit that. It's a very, 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 very dark place. It's hard to go beyond the money. To get to that place where they see beyond the money, it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Because, trust me,
It's the highest bidder.
it's the highest bidder. They go to the person with the highest bid, and it's like a risky game of poker.
Yeah.
They can trump you.
You can lose your spot, you know.
You can lose to the highest bidder, right? So and sometimes you can bluff them out of the game too, you know. Yeah, you just show them a lot of money, you know, and they run come in,
and you just pull it back.
And you just pull it back. You see what I'm saying? So for the gold diggers out there, this game is a very stupid game. It's a short number. It's a short game. You know, you think you're gaining, but you're not. When you hit like 35 and then you take a stock of yourself. Maybe you're like Ginger in Casino and you get like a Sam Rothstein. Yeah. You know, but look what she did to Sam Rothstein. Sam Rothstein gamble on her. Right? She's a gold digger. She said, I am a gold digger. Sam Rothstein give her $2 million, $1 million worth of jewelry, and $1 million in cash. And that couldn't buy her love. She's still screwing Stan, the two-time hustler. So what I'm saying here is that don't fall in love with a gold digger. It is not a good idea. No matter how much money you have, try to be like Stan. Be the pimp that you respect and rate and always want, regardless of, because there's always a stand out there for the gold diggers, you know. A loser, a two-time hustler, but that's the man she love.
You know, knowledge base, there was a story the other day in the papers here about two Canadian sisters.
Oh yes.
Remember that, right?
They are the epitome of gold digging that is coming up. I thought gold digging stopped, you know, years ago, back in Vegas, you know when Vegas was coming up. These girls bring it back. Go ahead.
Yeah, these two girls, they're high-class whores.
But Delvin, you don't even go around it.
No, I'm just telling you what.
Just high-class whore.
High-class whores, but they took their whoring to a different level. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah,
allegedly. Yeah, they went to Africa and then they tried to, this billionaire, they actually went there on a paid assignment. But then after that they tried to turn it into what they call it now. What that word that they use now where they're now holding them hostage by saying that they're gonna tell their wives and all of these things.
Okay.
What's the proper word that they use? Yeah, they try to I forgot that word that they use. That they try to say that
blackmail. Blackmail. But I don't want to use that word.
Yes, blackmail. They try
darker hue male.
Yeah, they try to blackmail this billionaire. Hence, what the man did? Call the police.
That's the right thing to do. Call their bluff.
So now they were arrested on charges of blackmailing and to swindle all of these billionaires over the world. And this was a man that, I guess he was a smart man. So you can get yourself into some serious trouble by being a gold digger, you know, if you're actually exploiting people. So it's a thin line to cross. So be careful.
And then be careful also because there's a life situation, because I have a real experience, on a micro level, but real experience. There's a gentleman named DUI, right? I won't. DUI.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, he went to an event and him and a few girls had a few drinks, and you know it was going right, and they gave him a fake number. This was years ago, in our teen years. And a few years after they gave him the fake number, he saw the girls again at Eglinton West Station. And he approached her and said,
what's his number, bud?
Where's my number? And she's like, pardon? I don't know you. And he's like, where's my number? And she couldn't give him the number. And she get a box. Literally. But this man is a gangster. So these are the type of situation, ladies, that you'll get yourself in. Over the man number, the man give her a box, a healthy one. I saw it. That I'm condoning it. I'm just saying that be careful how you deal with men out there.
Yeah, be careful, because people's cash, it doesn't matter how they get it, you know, they value and treasure it. So if you just come in and swindle them, and some of them you're brainwashing, what's the word? Blackmailing them. You got to be careful of that risky game. And so, ladies, you don't have to stoop to that level.
And R. Kelly once says, you know, if you ask me why I did it, Tell them I did it for love. Do it for love. Please.
Yeah, find a man to love you.
Find a man to love you and stop trying, as my sister once says, don't take the ready-made man. My sister is a player yet. Them girl let us want ready-made man. Try to build with a young man, though. Build him up, and then when he becomes the man that you want, you know, financially, then he's your man because you were a part of his success.
Okay, gold diggers, build up your
Self-esteem. Yes.
Don't rely on anyone for anything. Let's wrap up the show. Yes, knowledge base. It was a great show today. What would you say?
Yes, man. Gold diggers, beware.
Yeah, we covered.
Do what is out there.
You know, don't drink and drive. We talk about the situation in England.
The great Tupac Shakur about life.
And the fake ass is up.
Ask the face. Yes, man.
Yes, so let's talk about a few things that we want to tell the people in the people nation. That we need you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And the reason for that is this. We might decide to broadcast live from YouTube.
It's not decide. We are going to subscribe to broadcast live. That is our intention, and we're gonna have a live studio audience. We're gonna have gifts, surprises, excitement, balabaloo, abalabaloo, a whole bunch of stuff. Plus, also, I and Delvin also is gonna take it to the street. You will see us in Baghdad. You will see us in Abu Dhabi. You will see us in Cairo, Egypt. You will see us down in the Caribbean, South America. You'll see us all over. Kuala Lumpur, we're coming. Alright? We are going to take it to you.
Yeah, we've got big plans for the show. This is not, what you see here is actually the knowledge aspect of the show. But there's going to be a new spin-off to the show where there's going to be an entertainment segment for the subscribers. And this entertainment section is going to be all over the world, all over the globe. And only the subscribers will be privileged to this. So what you want them to do, knowledge base,
is to like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, don't keep this to yourself. This show is a good show. It's going to be even a better show. We want you to tell people about it. Let people know that 5 Minutes and Cut is the show to watch each and every week. So, with that said, until next week, this is Knowledge Base KT and this is Delvin. We want to say
peace out.
Peace out.